Hello students, today we will see Morera's theorem, which is converse of Cauchy's integral theorem or Cauchy's theorem. We have already seen about Cauchy's theorem with proof and examples in our previous videos. You can find links of all previous videos below in the description box. Let's start the video. Cauchy's theorem says that if fz is any analytic function within and on given closed curve C, then integral over C fz dz is equal to 0. And Morera's theorem is just converse of Cauchy's theorem. Morera's theorem says if fz is continuous in a region D and integral over C fz dz is equal to 0 around every simply closed curve C in D, then fz is analytic in D. Okay, so let's see the proof of it. Let z0 be a fixed point and z be a variable point in D, and C1 and C2 be two rectifiable curves joining z0 to z. To understand what is rectifiable curve, you can see link of my previous video in the description box. So let's draw it. Suppose this is our region D. This is point Z0, which is a fixed point, and this is a point Z, which is a variable point. And here are two curves C1 and C2 joining Z0 to Z. Okay, and this Z0 to Z and again Z to Z0. This is the whole curve C. Right? Then we can write, so now we have integral over C fz dz is equal to integral over C fz C1 fz dz plus integral over minus of C2 fz dz. Okay, we have taken negative sign here because the direction of C1 is anti-clockwise and direction of C2 is clockwise. They both are in opposite direction. Okay, so we can write this term as it is equal to integral over C1 fz dz minus integral over C2 fz dz, okay, due to opposite directions. And this value integral over C fz dz, it is given 0. Okay, so what we get, we'll get integral over C1 fz dz is equal to integral over C2 fz dz. Okay, so we can say that the integral of this function fz from a fixed point z0 to a variable point z in D, okay, along every curve is same. Okay, that means this value is independent of path, and if this value is independent of path, that means this value will be a function of z only. Okay, so we can write it like this, since integral over C fz dz is equal to 0, then line integral of fz from a fixed point z0 to a variable point z must be independent of path. Okay, is independent of path. Okay, by this. Okay, and if it is independent of path, then this value will be function of z only. Hence it will be a function of z only. Okay, that means we can write the integral of this function fz dz from z0 to z will be function of z only. That's why we have defined a function phi here. Okay, phi z, and phi z is also a complex function. So let phi z is equal to capital U plus iota capital V. Okay, and fz is equal to small u plus iota small v. Z is equal to x plus iota y, then dz will be dx plus iota dy. Okay, now all these values, we put all these values here, okay, in this equation. Then what we get? Phi z is equal to u plus iota v is equal to u plus iota v is equal to integral from x naught y naught to xy, and the value of fz is u plus iota v, and the value of this dz is dx plus iota dy. Okay, putting the values here, right? Now we multiply integral from x naught y naught to xy. Here we have taken z0 and z as xy coordinates. Okay, on multiplying we get u dx plus iota u dy plus iota v dx, and iota square is -1, so minus v dy. Right? Now in next step we'll separate real and imaginary terms. So separating real and imaginary parts. We get u plus iota v. Okay, it is capital U plus iota capital V. Integral from x naught y naught to xy. Real values are these two, u dx minus v dy plus iota integral from x naught y naught to xy for this imaginary values v dx plus u dy. Okay, and now we equate real and imaginary parts of both the sides. So equating real and imaginary parts of both the sides. Right? Now we get real part, this u. So capital U is equal to integral from x naught y naught to xy of u dx minus v dy, and capital V is equal to integral from x naught y naught to xy of this imaginary part v dx plus u dy. Okay, now what we do, we'll differentiate these two, capital U and capital V, okay, with respect to x and y, or we can say we are differentiating it under integral sign. Okay, so what we get, see here, differentiating under integral sign, then del u by del x is equal to u, del u by del y is equal to minus v, and del v by del x is equal to v, and del v by del y is equal to u. Okay, right. Now what you see here, this del u by del x, it is equal to del v by del y, and del u by del y is equal to minus of del v by del x, and these equations are nothing but they are Cauchy-Riemann equations or Cauchy-Riemann conditions. So we can say that this capital U and capital V satisfies Cauchy-Riemann equations. Okay, and the function fz is given continuous, and fz is equal to small u plus iota small v. So that means small u and small v are also continuous, right? And if these small u and small v, they are continuous, that means what? That means del u by del x, del u by del y, del v by del x, and del v by del y. Okay, these all four values will be continuous by these relations. Okay, so we have, so which implies that del u by del x, del u by del y, these are capital del u. Okay, so and del v by del x and del v by del y are continuous. So what we can say? We can say that phi z, which is equal to capital U plus iota capital V, okay, is an analytic function. Okay, so we get that this phi z is analytic function, right? Now take phi dash z. So phi dash z is equal to del u by del x plus iota del v by del x, and this del u by del x, it is equal to small u. Okay, and this del v by del x is equal to small v. So putting the values here, we'll get u plus iota v, small u plus iota small v, and this is equal to function fz, right? And we know that derivative of any analytic function is also analytic. That means this phi dash z is analytic, and if this phi dash z is analytic, then this phi dash z is equal to fz, then fz must be analytic. Okay, so that is what we had to prove, right? So we write these things now. We know that derivative of any analytic function is also analytic. So which shows that phi dash z is analytic. Okay, and we may conclude that this fz is analytic since phi dash z is equal to fz. We have just shown it. Okay, so our Morera's theorem is proved here. So hence proved, right? So you can see this proof is simpler and easy to understand than given in many books. Okay, and I hope this lecture was useful for you, and if you have any query then you can write in the comment box, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel.